Hello, hello, and welcome back. If you have been here before, otherwise, welcome. If you're new here, my name is Maria, and I am an intuitive channel and energy reader, and I deliver messages to the Awakening Collective. So that is for twin flames, soulmates, starseeds, empaths, and all other energetically sensitive archetypes. Today, I'm going to be delivering energy update for the Twin Flame and Awakening Collective, as well as an energy reading. So I kind of mix my readings and updates together as one thing. So I just want to explain quickly what that actually means because I think a lot of people drawn to my channel will be slightly new to energy and the terminology that we use. So, an energy update is what we will be experiencing as a whole. Everyone will allow the energies that we have being given to us from the astrological alignments, the planets moving through the atmosphere is going to cause different kinds of energies to come, and they will influence us differently. However, there will be large groups of us that experience these energies very much on a similar level. So, an energy update is just a reading about what we might be experiencing as a whole. That's why when I give a reading, it will resonate with many of you, a lot of you, at the same time, because you are all experiencing these energies at the same time as these energies shift and change, and as we evolve on an energetic level as well. All of these things are happening simultaneously at the same time. We are evolving, our spiritual evolution is occurring as these cycles move through the universe and create different alignments to allow us to evolve. These are happening at the same time, creating this spiritual evolution that's just destined to occur. Energy readings will be more specific to these groups of people going through similar things. So, like I said, the energies will manifest differently for everyone. All right, let's see what comes up here. So, I have been off for a little bit here processing energy. The first thing Spirit wants to say is there was a great shift happened last month around the full moon where our divine masculine energy within us and within our relationships. So every time I speak of energy, I am talking about your inner experience as well as your outer experience. So the inner experience is actually the feminine energy within you, and the outer experience is actually the masculine energy within you. So when I say something, it could resonate both within yourself, so in your own personal experience, as well as within your relationship. So last month there was this divine volt of energy, voltage, I want to say, of energy that caused the masculine to kind of jump forward within us. So the masculine energy is the outward energy that we experience. So that's the doing, the action, the aggression, the more go and get it and create it physically, the outward physical experience. Many of us for the last 2 years have been on an inner journey with the feminine, right? The feminine is the inner, and we've kind of abandoned the masculine. A lot of us are going through fixing masculine and feminine wounds, which before we thought more of as mother-father wounds. But now we're realizing that they are actually just our masculine and feminine energies that were injured, perhaps more through a physical experience with our mother and father, but it is actually the masculine and feminine wounds that we're fixing right now. And what I've seen is, so over the last few years, we've been working on with the feminine wound and awakening the true, authentic divine feminine, which is truly awakening collectively, specifically for the divine feminine. So those who classify themselves as a divine feminine or a female, Doesn't mean that you're female, but majority it does sometimes pick a gender. Although if you are a twin flame, you might resonate with both. And we have been awakening this divine feminine over the last 2 years. But before that, before the last 2 years, I've seen that we actually abandon the divine feminine. Many of the divine feminines abandoned their divine feminine early in their formative experiences, whether it be early childhood or adolescenthood or early in your 20s, generally when you have your first love experience and heartbreak. It caused us to suppress or completely abandon our divine feminine, and causing these abandonment wounds, that we may have associated with our mother not being emotionally available or our father not being physically available. But actually, it was us on an inner journey, on a feminine perspective, actually abandon our own energies. So then, generally through a spiritual awakening, which will be drawn to this group, that is what I am reading for, to this video, I should say, there are everyone had remembered their divine feminine. That really is what a spiritual awakening is, remembering your divine feminine, your femininity. And as I have talked about lots, many of us who awaken generally awaken the divine feminine, but then the feminine ego comes with it, which is like the spiritual ego, which is the too good at things. I'm too nice, too giving, too caring, too generous. All these things that, they hide. They're very sneaky egos, but they are just as imbalanced and just as dark as the not caring, not nice, they're equally imbalanced, equally dark, or negative. That's what I'm going to get into, is the difference between dark and negative. So I know my hair is really wild right now, so bear with me. So then after we had our spiritual awakening, many of us created this spiritual ego and then realized that was very bad and started to come into balance with these too goody good energies. And in that process, kind of started to resent spirituality. And we're in that transition phase right now where we could, if we weren't cautious, completely abandon the divine feminine once again, as we realize we actually abandoned the divine masculine to find the divine feminine, creating another imbalance. And now we have, if we're not careful, the opportunity, or it could happen that we abandon the divine feminine or our spirituality, which is connected to the divine feminine, to then awaken the divine masculine again, or truly, to create action in the world. So this is happening, and I hope that it's not too many like divine feminine, divine masculines, that it confuses you. But really what I'm saying in short is, if you had a spiritual awakening and you're have been on an inner kind of retreated hermit mode, and now you're moving out of that, and you're realizing that you need to do and go and get and act, in that process you must bring your divine feminine, or your inner, your spiritual self, with that other self. Both need to come together. That is what the purpose is. There was a reason that you had to replace one imbalance with the other, so that you could, it's like cleaning out a barrel. In the middle, if we were just in the middle, we would just, leave all the guck. So we had to imbalance ourselves this way, get all that guck that might have been suppressed trauma and suppressed emotions, that might have imbalanced the other way, and scrape the barrel there. And now we got all this stuff and we're bringing it up. So then we rose up the divine feminine, and in the meantime, we lost the divine masculine. He got suppressed, and now we're remembering that, and we're mad at the spiritual ego, the divine feminine ego. So then we're bringing up the divine masculine, and in the process, we don't want to lose this feminine energy. We don't want to just replace this back and forth, as the world has been doing for eons. We're going to actually bring them both up together this time. so that we don't just create this continuous cycle of imbalance, replacing one imbalance with another. I say this every video. Anything out of balance creates negative energy. So that is where we are right now. So if you are feeling frustrated with your spirituality, or sitting or staying, or feeling stagnant, or blah, 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 if you're feeling like your partner isn't doing enough, like they're not enough for you, you deserve better, you want more physical something, then this is just a sign, because especially in twin flame relationships, your relationship mirrors what's going on within you. So this means that your divine feminine is sick of waiting for your masculine to rise up and meet you here. Okay, so you're going to project this perhaps onto your partner and be like, hey, I need you to step up, which is happening simultaneously with the energies within you. So just realize that it's not to mean that you don't have to, express how you feel to your partner. Just know that, this is kind of showing you that this masculine energy is rising within you, and you're just impatient with it, because feminine energy, it is energy, really, and it's masculine energy is more physical, dense. It's physicality, more so we need to, so the feminine always matures first, or it grows faster than the masculine energy, as we all have heard said somewhere at some time. So if you're feeling impatient within your relationship, or within your life, like my life needs to go here right now, it's because your masculine energy is taking its time coming. But there is growth on the way, and it is awakening. And honestly, the message that I keep getting is just keep doing what you're doing, keep processing those emotions. So many of us are just we're in our shadow work, we're following that ball of yarn, we're just unraveling so perfectly, because we're honoring our emotions, we're trusting our emotions. As our emotions come up, we feel them. So this goes into the next phase. So I've been perplexed. This is my thesis I've been working on for 5 years of, all through meditation. I learned all my information through meditation. Everyone can do this exact same thing, through energy reading, through just in tuning in. All the energy is there. All the information is right there. We just can grab it. Mixed with physical information, obviously, is a great thing as well. And lots of times that information is generally, if you have been more of a physical person, your whole life, and then you switch to spirituality, the information you received before will now become important, because that's how it balanced. You were more physical in the first half of your life, and then maybe you're more energetic in the back half of your life, or however, and it might go back and forth and balance itself eventually. Where was I? Yes, so I have been working on this thesis of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and truly what is going on here. And we all know that we are one energy. We heard it a million times. And what I didn't like about the divine feminine and the divine masculine is, they've been associated with black and white, and it's very confusing to me. The masculine is white, the feminine is black, and it was very confusing to me, because I'm like, okay, well, I've been meeting, I've been telling you guys this, we're meeting in the middle, where there's what I wanted to say was gray, because I didn't know what other color to even say, and what I realized is it's not gray. Is actually every color of the rainbow exists between black and white. We just have never had balance or awoken these true energies of authentic energies to actually experience the inner realm. So when things are in balance, they are creating positive energy. But within that is, what I realized is that everything in balance isn't creating black or white or gray or red or orange or yellow or green or any color. It's actually, blew my mind. It's actually transparent, translucent energy. It is clear energy. So if you imagine white on this side and black on this side, and like we kind of split ourselves in two, like this is our feminine, this is our masculine, and we flip-flopped back and forth so much because we didn't realize that when we actually merge those energies together, we become no color. Within no color, within all color, just like the reflection of light is the rainbow. All color exists inside of translucent energy. That is what God is. That was what the energy of zero. That is where your neutral zone is, as I've talked about a lot. That the neutral zone is translucent. It is transparent. It is completely crystal clear. It doesn't have a specific color. It is all colors, or no colors. It is everything and nothing all at once as we describe God. And the reason this is so important is because this dominant persistence on blackness really keeps us stuck. And this persistence on whiteness, we think we have to be light. And then because we want to be light, we suppress our dark. And it just kind of, it never will balance if we keep thinking this way. It's because we have to remember that we are this translucent energy of neutrality within these colors. So anything out of balance creates negative energy. So if you have anything that says I care too much, or I care not enough, so you'll be on a cycle of imbalance. So either you're caring too much, and when you're not caring too much, you're caring not enough. And then you'll go back and forth and you'll never actually find balance. And this will, if you go in, you might find there's a deeper reason to this. So this is creating negative energy. Anything too much, you have too much of it, it's too fat, it's imbalance. It's creating negative energy. Negative energy isn't black, isn't dark. It is equally black and white or whatever. This is where I hope this resonates with people, these colors, because this is something I've been working so hard on, because I think it's something that we need to remember. Honestly, it was a mind shift for me when I realized, oh my God, it's translucent. Of course it is. Oh my gosh. And I'm sure that's been said before somewhere, or maybe it's common knowledge. I don't know. But this is something that really shifted my experience. When we say embrace the darkness, this is also something that I couldn't quite figure out. I wanted to be light. We have to be light, love and light. And this created the spiritual ego. Everyone who goes into a spiritual awakening wants to be light. They suppress their dark and they become imbalanced. They create spiritual ego. They get mad at their spiritual ego. They create a 3D ego and they go back and forth. Feminine ego, masculine ego. Boom, 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 their whole life or whatever, until they realize that what they're doing. And so we want to be light, light, light. So we're just like imbalancing and making ourselves so imbalanced. And then eventually maybe we get dark and we want to go dark, 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 because we're like mad at being light, right? And it's so anything out of balance creates negative energy, but negative energy is not black. It's not dark. Darkness is embracing. So the darkness is the divine feminine. It is the emotions. It is the deepness of the soul. So it's like when you are wanting to go to the movie, but you have this sadness because you don't have anyone to go with. You embrace that sadness. You don't spiritual ego yourself and say, oh, I'm so grateful for my life. Okay, that's a spiritual ego. That's causing you to suppress yourself. That's causing you to deny your emotions and deny your darkness, deny your yang. Or your yang, whichever one I always forget. You must say, be honest with yourself. Always, always be honest with yourself and trust your emotions and express them assertively. It might take you a long time or a while or a minute to express yourself assertively. Generally, in your journal is the only where you will be able to do that. Otherwise, you're going to have something that's overcompensating or twisted or causing you to manipulate or distort when you try to say it to someone else. You're going to say it to your mom, yeah, I wanted to go to the movies, but then I got really sad. And what you're doing is you're looking for sympathy, which is coming from an imbalance, which is causing you not to be authentic. Because to be authentic, you have to be out of imbalance. So you are coming from an imbalance of seeking approval or seeking sympathy or needing validation for your victimhood, right? So it's actually just going to create them to be, oh, I'm sorry, and then you're going to stay in balance. The only way to truly speak authentically is to be in the neutral zone. When you're in the neutral zone, you're completely present with your emotions and you express them assertively without an agenda. So you would say, I am feeling quite sad tonight. I really wanted to go to the movies, but I'm feeling a little bit insecure because I am not comfortable enough with the group of friends that I was going to go with. And it makes me feel really sad that I don't have that connection with them, and that makes me feel lonely. I feel like that was a message for someone specifically because I channeled someone's energy there. And that is going to burst your energy. First, that's going to bring you into this neutral zone, bring you into this transparent energy. And the white that was imbalanced and the black that was out of balance as well. So if there was anything out of balance, they're going to neutralize themselves automatically. So if you can picture the neutral zone as 0, we have this buffer zone, which I've been calling the Goldilocks zone, which I realized should be called the Little Red Riding Hood zone. Like, oh, not too hot, not too cold, just right. This is the just right zone. Too hot's over here, too cold's over here. So if you have emotion that's out of balance, let's say the emotion of guilt. This is one of the basic emotions, but I'm going to talk about this more in my book that I'm writing. So too much guilt is going to cause you to come out of the neutral zone, come out of the Goldilocks zone, and be over positively charged. Not enough guilt is going to cause you to become entitled and spoiled. So lots of people who have too much guilt or not enough guilt, so most times you will predominantly experience these energies. So if you have too much guilt in your life, when you're not feeling guilty, the only way to counteract your guilt will be for you to switch to spoiledness or entitledness or apathy, like lack of empathy for something. And then you're going to go back and forth. So when you experience guilt, the only way that you know how to get rid of it is to go to the other extreme of apathy, like, I don't care. Either you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I shouldn't have done that. I'm such a bad person, blah, 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 guilt. And then, oh, never mind. They deserve that. That was not, blah, blah, blah. So you go from one extreme to the other, and you'll probably just stay like this. In the middle here, this is the real zone, the neutral zone. You have created black and white energy. There's no color of the rainbow in between. There's just black and white. So when you're not experiencing guilt, you're experiencing apathy. So you have to allow these energies to meet each other. One is negatively charged, one is positively charged. They hit each other, they transmute. They go to 0 and they don't exist. In order to do that, you have to take a little bit of guilt and a little bit of, we won't say apathy, we'll say apathy, actually. So you take, it's like an IV. So you have a small bit of apathy, small bit of guilt, and a small bit of apathy coming in, and they actually neutralize each other, and they create a feeling, a good feeling, a positive feeling. This is what it means to embrace darkness. This is truly what it means to be an alchemist and transmute and be the divine being that you are, truly. Is when you embrace these energies and bring them back into balance, they will mingle with each other and energy they create will be positive. You'll bring them inside of the neutral zone, even though alone they seem like negative energies. Together, they're actually creating positive energy. And this will happen every time. Say you did something wrong, right? And you want to feel guilt, but you don't know how because your guilt's out of whack. So you have experienced too much guilt every time you did something wrong, but you don't want to feel guilty. So you're trying to convince yourself that you did something right. So you're either trying to decide, did I do something wrong or do something right? And you're doing black and white. We do this with everything in our lives. Black or white, one or two. We think there's only two options, and that's very hard on us and very confusing when there's this zone in the middle where you don't choose either one. It's all or nothing. It's neither or, neither nor, or either or. It's nothing in all things, right? It's both at the same time and nothing at the same time. I'm just really trying to zone that energy in for you guys. So if you're trying to decide anything in life, it's generally because you stuck yourself outside of the neutral zone, outside of the buffer zone, and now you're just flip-flopping from one extreme to the next, and you'll never decide because it never feels good, right? There's no good. But when you realize what energy you have out of whack, okay, what am I experiencing here? What's causing me to feel like I can't decide? Okay, I do feel guilty that I did this thing, but I hate feeling this guilt. On the other side, so you're thinking, I need to feel guilty or I don't need to feel guilty. In between, you can just move those energies out. There's the neutral zone where those two energies exist, where you feel a little bit of guilt and a little bit of self-remorse. At the same time, those energies are going to transmute each other and clear back to zero. And while these two energies create balance and positive energy, and actually going to make you feel healed. Like you want to forgive someone and you think you either have to forgive them or you have to hate them. Like, okay, I hate that person. I'm so mad at them, but only for me to move on, I have to forgive them. And you think you have to do one or the other. But if you take a little bit of forgiveness and a little bit of not forgiving, like I'm not going to forgive you, and I forgive you a little bit, and you let those to touch, so you're neither forgiving or not forgiving. It is where true bliss, grace, happiness, euphoria exists. And it can be done with every single thing in your entire life. And you can live in this zone. It is the most liberating place that you could ever find yourself. And it truly is like a mathematical equation. It takes a lot of self-awareness, but many of us are there and we're ready for this this level of mastery within ourselves and in our emotions. Okay, so that is the energy update of what we're experiencing here, and many of you that might resonate with what you're experiencing. I have more time to take these energies, contemplate them, and translate them. So you might be experiencing this but never had the wordage. I talk with spirit, so they help me to translate to human terms. Okay. Awesome. All right. I think I'm going to leave it at that because I do think that's what some people needed to hear. I'm probably going to come on here, for sure next week, to do an energy reading on what you're experiencing more on a physical 3D level. But on a higher self level, this is what you might be going through, conscious or unconscious of it. If you want to take a deep breath with me as we're all connected here. Because as I talk about these energies, I am helping you to acknowledge them and bring them to the forefront. So I do feel like we've brought up the energy of guilt and regret and forgiveness. And I do feel them in the solar plexus chakra. So just relax. I feel like the left side, or your left side, is going to look like my right side, is trying to clear those energies. So if you just relax, honestly, this process can happen organically on its own. And that's generally what happens when you relax and meditate, or simply literally just relax. This process will occur on its own, where negative and positively overcharged energies will transmute themselves. Awesome. Breathing helps so much. It's like the one thing that connects the outer and the inner, the masculine and the feminine, as one, as neutrality, as transparency and translucency, as this vortex. Truly, you become a vortex. I'm just going to see if Spirit is wanting to say something. Yeah. They're kind of just applauding many of you for your hard work and due diligence. And yeah, it might seem quite hard right now, the energies that you're experiencing, but just keep allowing them. Truly, that is the way through. We are merging everything as one, so it's no longer so separate as we see it. Every single energy is in balance. It's not black and white. Everything is perfectly harmoniously balanced. Taking away the fear of dark, the fear of darkness is really what they're saying. Because it's darkness is no different than lightness. Lightness that is out of balance and darkness that is out of balance, they're exactly the same amount of negativity. They create negative energy. That's what we fear. But we cannot fear the darkness is a natural state of energy. When balanced with the natural state of lightness becomes neutrality, neutral energy. Positive experience. Allowing this energy to just shift and move. Thank you so much for watching. If you're tuning out now, if you'd like to stay with me while we clear this energy, definitely feel free to. Let me know in the comments if you are feeling this energy clearing with me as strongly as I'm feeling it as it happens. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it and it helps me a lot. Okay, so Spirit, tell me. The energy is very intense. I don't even know how to go there. I think that will save that for next time. Close your eyes and just be here with me in our community that we are growing here on YouTube. Awesome. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much. Please share this with anyone that you feel it will resonate with. That really helps me as well. And I will bring forth to you as many messages as I can as I translate them and I experience them. I am experiencing this in real time with you on the front line of it, and sometimes it does take me a few days or weeks even to process these energies, ground them, and be able to handle them enough to speak of them. This is a prominent energy that we've been experiencing for the last month, so yeah, I feel we are up to date again here. So awesome. The energy is still clearing on your left side. You might feel a swirling energy. specifically with people with trauma, this is going to be such a great thing to realize, okay, I am being overly paranoid about something, overly afraid of something. And you have to counteract it with its opposite energy. It will cause it to be transmuted. So if you're being overly afraid, you get to bring in the energy of strength. This is what I'm working on right now, so it is not 100% mathematically correct yet. But Spirit is showing me that, yes, so if you have an energy that is out of balance, you have the possibility to transmute it. If you can tune into and feel the energy that has been unbalanced that caused this energy to get out of balance. So the energy of fear, too much fear, you are lacking the energy of perhaps strength or a logical mindset. So every time you feel fear, you have to just tune into the energy of logic or the energy of strength, and that's going to instantly transmute that energy and bring you back to center. It's been helping me a lot with some of my traumas, allowing a lot of things to catch the snake by the head, as I say, getting, so much more present in every moment, in every situation, with my mind, with my, body, soul. Everything is coming into alignment, and I'm seeing things as they happen and not afterwards, not reacting, no longer allowing old programmings to just run unconsciously. I'm aware of the process and moving through it. There's some deep energy just moving here, so I'm just going to stay on here with you. If you're still here, awesome. There it goes. Great. That feels so good. All right. Thank you all so much, and we will see you very soon.